Alright folks, just a quick video. Well, possibly, we'll see. I'll put it this way. Yeah, early on I saw there was a video talking about Hamas leaders saying they have not killed any civilians. Yeah. I think those statements were designed to get the Israelis to put out pictures of the babies that Hamas killed. And show pictures of civilians that they killed. Because for some reason they love seeing what they've done. It's the same with ISIS and terrorists like that. Basically, they love seeing the nasty things that they've been doing. You're making videos of cutting people's heads off and that sort of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. But that's why I say, there is no such thing as a non-radical Muslim. The belief itself encourages this sort of behaviour. And anyone who is a Muslim but doesn't seem to support that, they either support it in secret or they're not really a Muslim. Because where you have a belief where the people, I've said this before, there's no such thing as a non-radical Christian, because Christianity is radical, same as Islam is radical. So there's no such thing as a non-radical Muslim. It just doesn't exist, because the belief itself is radical. Anyone who is not radical is not really of that belief. Really as simple as that. They may come under that belief, they may have been born in a family that was of that belief, they may even go to a Islamic church, but it doesn't mean that they're a Muslim. Not really. But for me, what concerned me earlier, I was watching one of the videos talking about Israel, and they showed a picture of the area, and they showed that there's some unrest in the West Bank. And when I saw the difference in size between the West Bank and the Gaza Strip, I was thinking, oh, right, okay. So it's not the Gaza Strip we need to be concerned about, it's West Bank. The West Bank is, I think, what, about sort of 6 or 7 times the size of the Gaza Strip, full of Palestinians. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of hatred in the West Bank towards Israel. And there's a lot more people with hate in the area. And because of what the Israelis are doing now, if there is a reaction, a big reaction, it may very well come in a year or two from the West Bank. And I think it's quite likely that what's going to bring in the last days, where the Bible was talking about what happens there. It's more likely to be the West Bank than it will be Gaza, I think. I was watching a video earlier from that Rabbi. If I can find it, I will link it. Rabbi makes a prediction about the Israeli-Hamas War. It's Rabbi Manas Friedman. I suggest listening to some of his stuff because he is very good. But in that video, he's basically talking about the fact that you've got the politicians deciding on what the next move should be, and he's saying no, it should be the generals deciding because they're the ones who know about war. And the Israeli people have got to remember who they are. That they are the children of God. They are his children. So therefore, look to God. Because when the opposition realised that this is God's people and God is now backing them again, crap. That they're going to run and hide. Yeah. So have a look at his stuff. He seems to be someone who is wise. He has some wisdom. So But yes, with regards to that stuff, it's I think there's plenty more horrors that are going to be unearthed. Well, the one earlier, talking about the grandmother. That is just disgusting, really. That you kill an old lady, you use her phone to take a photo of her body and then post it on her Facebook page. Yeah. The thing of it is, they do that as if their God is going to be proud of them for doing it. That's extra for their glory. There's one of the soldiers talking about the fact that some of the horrors. They had gone into homes where the parents were kneeling with their hands tied behind their backs, and in front of them was their children, their little children, also with their hands tied behind their backs. And that the Hamas person, they had done videos of them sitting on the table, eating the food, that family's food, while torching the children alive. So when I talk about the fact that all these people, do I think that Hamas are going to be brought up on charges and in court? No. Put it this way, if you are a soldier who saw this, any Hamas person you get, you're going to kill. You're not going to think that we should bring these up on charges. No. And the problem is if Hamas is going to do these things and to celebrate barbaric, disgusting, horrific behaviour, I mean, you see the images of the Hamas person dragging a Jewish woman out from the back of a car and dragging her around while she's crying, and basically force her into the back seat. And they video this. They send it to the TV channels. Hamas do. They're asking to be wiped out, aren't they? It's incredible. As I say, this is why. Yeah, it's not like any other conflict, really. No. Because in most conflicts, the soldiers, they don't like to kill. The problem is that we saw it in the Iraqi war, though, is that you have the leaders of the armies, and they speak to the soldiers in a way where they are intentionally dehumanizing the opposition and dehumanizing them to such a degree that torturing them, they're even doing those things, having the parents kneeling down, sitting there watching their babies being set on fire, torched, and they're powerless to do anything. Because the problem is, look, if you are parents in that situation, and you know that these Hamas terrorists are trying to get into your house, I think you would probably kill the children and kill yourselves in a very humane way, very, very quickly, rather than let these sickos get a hold of you. But the problem is, because they believe that they're going to be treated with decency, because that's how soldiers behave, people didn't imagine that soldiers would come in to homes of people and do that. Now we know these people would do that. It's beyond any horror film. Yeah. That's what I say. It is to a certain degree equal to a lot of things that happened during the Holocaust. Because the Germans managed to dehumanize the Jews. Otherwise, you cannot, in any way, shape or form, you cannot walk women and elderly and children and whatever into gas chambers. You can't do that. You can't tell them to strip, and you can't then portion off their clothing and their jewellery and share it amongst yourselves. You can't do that as a human being. To another human being, you just can't do that. It's way beyond crossing the line, that is. But that's where dehumanizing comes in. Well, the problem is the Americans have done that towards the Iraqis. And that's where the American soldiers were torturing and treating Iraqi captured soldiers like dogs. Well, dogs that they could abuse anyway, animals that they could abuse. But again, Hamas has to take it to a new level, don't they? They have to show you that with Islam, when Islam is against you, this is what they do. I don't think we've heard the worst of what was done either. No. But if Islam is trying to show that their father is a devil, they're doing a blinking good job of it. I mean, really, they're doing a very good job of it. You can certainly see that maybe that's why they hate the Jews so much, because God loves the Jews, and of course the devil hates anything that God loves. So his people are going to hate the Jews, aren't they? So Islam, come on. You want people to believe that you are a loving and graceful and merciful belief? Yeah, right. We're seeing your true colours here, aren't we? We are indeed. Yeah. But as I said, to me, I think what's happening now, what happened over the weekend gone, I think that's small fry compared to what is going to happen. Yeah, that's going to bring in what the Bible talks about. Those last days, yeah, I think what's going to happen for that is going to be far worse. And jeez, yeah. Well, put it this way: what is it going to take to get Israel to respond in such a way that the whole world is going to war against them? Well, all nations, it says in the Bible, which is basically all nations means the whole world because it's all nations. So yeah, the whole world except Israel is going to war against Israel. Yeah. What is it going to take to push them that far? Yeah. Yeah. We just need to pray for the soldiers that have actually gone into homes and seen these things. That God can help them to realise that these families are now in heaven. That these children and the parents have no more suffering. Because that way they can deal with what they saw. And so, yeah. So pray for that. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Be a blessing, be blessed. And it's not being a short video, is it really? So there you go. Indeed. And trust in God. Keep your eyes on Him. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.